Hey guys, I was thinking about the the love of a mother. Um I know God says that he makes your mother is your angel, you know what I mean? So before coming to earth, the child chooses their mother. And I thought it was it's beautiful. I was thinking about a time when the kids were little. They would call me about their Xbox. Sammy would call me about his Xbox. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know much about Xboxes because I don't. They're newer and I don't play video games. I used to play Nintendo, but that wasn't. You didn't have to download the cars they sell at Walmart and all that stuff. I didn't understand the technology part of it or all that. But I was thinking about how a mother, like, and I'm gonna speak for myself because of how much I love my children, how a mother will move mountains for you. They, like, a lot of us don't know how to do it. And I'm thankful for the mother I got because she did a lot for me. She would move mountains for me, just like I've moved mountains for my children. And I think it's beautiful when you love so much. It's so hard. And a lot of times, you're yourself. I'm in a human body, so obviously a lot of things are imperfect about me. But when I spoke to my children, when I speak to them about my struggles, I don't try to sound perfect. You know what I mean? We talk about them, but we also laugh about them. You know what I mean? It's my walk, how I walked it, and it was it was it was not funny. You know what I mean? But I let it be raw at the age they're in. But I'm also very truthful. But see, I don't talk when I talk to him is not as a victim of nothing. Cause I'm not a victim of nothing. I I am a queen, a survivor, and I walked in faith. You know what I mean? I walked in faith. I did. And I am grateful for that. I am grateful that I said yes to God and no to the world's bullshit. I am beyond grateful for that, because I know the truth and God knows the truth. Because I walked through fucking hell and back and made those motherfuckers bow down to fucking me. You know what it is when I walk through that fucking the valley of the shadow of death. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I didn't fear no evil because I'm a little chicken shit. I'm not gonna lie, I get scared of the dark. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I walked with love, like in my heart. I swear to you, high or not high, man, I still fucking loved, and that I am beyond grateful for, cause I loved, I loved other people because I was broken too. You know what I mean? But I was still showing love because I saw them broken. And I said, you know what? I don't give a shit. They're probably gonna think, because I would cry, I would cry, but I wasn't just crying for me, I was crying for us. I was crying for my dad, I was crying for our children, and I was sad because I was like, this can't be it for us, because we're a team. I was like, this can't be it for us, this cannot be it. So it wasn't just me trying to get to my children to be a mom or a wife. I was crying for us. Because I saw, and I'm going to call them my friends. I don't give a fuck what they call me. They are my friends. I felt their pain at every level. And I would cry and be like, please, let's just, because I wanted them to love too, to wake up too. I said, if I make it out of here, and when I do make it out of here, you're coming with me, motherfuckers, and so are your children and my children, and we're gonna heal together. And that fucking, I don't even know, but that put more love, as fucked up as I was. I said, you know what? I'm gonna love, I'm gonna love me and them to life. And you know what? I just thank God, and I thank Him because if God saved one person, one child through me, then that's good, because I see it as, if that child changes the world in many ways for our children to come, then I am beyond grateful, because all the glory goes to God. You know what I mean? All the time for me, because I'm just an imperfect human in an imperfect body. And a lot of times, because I mean, I was in the hood, and a lot in some places, I was in the drug thing and using and all the bad stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure they would see me emotional and crying, and to be a drug dealer and to be in drugs, you're supposed to not have feelings. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be cold and play the game how it is, rough and tough and all that. You know what I mean? And I did not. Man, I did not, man. I would still cry. And I would still cry for me. I would cry for my children. I would cry for their children. I was still over there trying to be the drug dealer's therapist and shit, trying to motivate them to get out of there. And you know what? It might have not looked perfect, but I was hurting for us. Like, I was hurting for us, because we were all broken children of a fucked up system, And that's when I said, enough is enough. And I said, God, that's enough. Like, I'm not mad at God. I love God. But I said, this is enough, It's gotta stop with me. Fuck it. Give it to me. I fucking carry this shit. I'll fucking do whatever I have to fucking do. I carry this shit. But our children have to see a better tomorrow. I didn't give a shit at that point. Drugged or not. I was hurting, but I was loving. And I was fucking healing. Even in the midst of the bullshit, I was healing. And I was waking up. Because I knew there was no more going down for me. All it was waking up and coming up. And I am beyond grateful. And I do give myself props, because I kept my faith, and I kept my heart, and I kept my love, and I kept my crying, and I kept my emotions. And you know what? In a world trying to be so tough, to be so vulnerable, and to be able to fucking cry in the midst of it all, is a fucking strength that a lot of motherfuckers don't have. Because it's easier to show anger and to be tough, or show to be tough, than it is to show the true emotion, to cry and to let it out. In that world, I know how weak it looked to them. But to be honest, it was the opposite of fucking weak. It was a fucking strength that a lot of fucking people weren't willing to show. And you know what? I fucking, don't get me wrong, I would never go, I'm not going back there. But to be honest with you, it just helped me see how much the world needs that, you know what I mean? Because it's easier to go into anger and resentment. Because I felt that too, man. I felt it all. I felt everything. I've gone through every emotion, But in a world full of masks, in a world telling a man he can't be fucking vulnerable, telling a man he can't be motherly and fatherly, telling a woman she can only do. No, we both have a masculine and feminine energy. Just because a man can have a feminine energy does not make it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean you're gay. It doesn't none of that. And who cares? It means none of that. God is a merciful and loving God. You know what I mean? And I can feed my feminine energy and my masculine energy equally at different fucking times. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm glad I made a fool. I don't think I made a fool. I think I was just me. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that my heart kept trying, my faith kept going, and I wish you all a blessed day, and I love you guys.